Hi students, myself Dr. K. Shivaya, Department of Pharmacology, Shantiram College of Pharmacy, Nandyal. So our next topic is tuberculosis and anti-tuberculosis drugs. So what is tuberculosis? So it's a potentially fatal contagious disease and it is one of communicable disease that can affect almost any part of the body, mainly an infection of the lungs. So mainly why it is infected lungs, the organism aerobic, so it live present in the air condition. So the lungs have the lung oxygen. That's why it is more survived in lungs. So what is the tubercle? So round is a nodule or swelling. You can call it as a tubercle. So oocyst condition. So small inflammation in the lungs. That's we can call it a small swelling in the lungs. We can call it as a tuberculosis. So it is granuloma. It's a nodule. That infection nodule consisting of epithelioid macrophages and other inflammatory and immune cells and matrix. And the matrix form when the immune system turned off and isolates an antigen. So when it is formed, when the immune system turns off and the isolated an antigen. So tubercle is a small round gray translucent granulomatous lesion usually with central cessation. So tubercle means is a small round gray translucent granuloma. So what is granuloma? So the granuloma is a nodule consisting of epithelioid macrophages, other inflammatory and immune cells, along with fibroblasts. And the matrix formed when the immune system, when it is formed, when the immunity system turns off. So that what are the causative organisms? Mild Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It is mild affected for the human, and Mycobacterium bovis it is affected to the animals. So other causative organisms, Mycobacterium africanum and Mycobacterium microti, and non-Mycobacterium genuses. Other non-Mycobacterium tuberculosis, that is the Mycobacterium leprae, Mycobacterium avium, Mycobacterium ascites. Okay, this is the non-Mycobacterium. But in Mycobacterium tuberculosis, these are the complexes. So that is a Mycobacterium african and microti and bovis and canet. These are all organisms mainly to cause the tuberculosis. Bovis human beings, Mycobacterium tuberculosis in our and canet in ours and microti in ours. So human beings will be affected. Especially we have to study about the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. It's a gram-positive aerobe. That's why I said it is aerobic. So non-spore forming, non-motile rod and mesophyll and slow generation time. The growth is very slow. That's why what happened. Our antibiotics mainly to act on the high growth organisms, high speed of growth organisms. But these organisms slow growth. Come to the classification of tuberculosis, pulmonary tuberculosis, extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Pulmonary means lungs. If the Mycobacterium tuberculosis affected to the pulmonary or lungs, that is we can call it as a pulmonary tuberculosis. That is a primary disease and a secondary disease. We can discuss what is that. Then extrapulmonary, other than the lungs, if it is spread to the other organisms, depending upon the organ, they given the name. If it is distributed lymph node, lymph tuberculosis. If it is pleural tuberculosis. If it is upper airways, means pharynx. And if it is distributed skeletal system, that microorganisms you can call it as skeletal. So it's depending upon this organ and system, we can call it as respective pulmonary, respective tuberculosis, or not pulmonary, respective tuberculosis, respective tuberculosis. What are the symptoms? Coughing and crowded places with poor ventilation. How it is spread during the droplets of the coughing, and crowded places where the poor ventilation and the spitting everywhere. That person spitting everywhere, that droplets in the airway, it is transferred to the other person. What are the symptoms of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis? Continuously persistent cough. Persistent cough means continuously cough coming. It will stop. Then again continuously coming. It will stop. So like, and during the cough, you can get the chest pain and coughing with the blood sputum sometimes, and shortness of breath. You can get the very shortness of breath. Urine discoloration, cloudy and reddish urine, fever with chills and fatigue. These are very common and very. So why tuberculosis is a dreadful disease? Why it is called dreadful disease? Because of mycolic acids. In the cell wall, they have the mycolic acid. That mycolic acid have a 90 carbon atoms arranged in the ring-like structure. A ring-like structure. This one, mycolic acid. This is cell wall. Upon the cell wall, they have the. See, this is mycolic acids. Mycolic acids are free lipids, glycolipids, and peptidoglycolipids. Okay. So these mycolic acids, what they bring, prevents are resistant against hydrophilic and lipophilic antibiotics. They have the mycolic acid have the resistant to these antibiotics. So loss of water and transport of various substances helps in evading from immune system. Evading the from immune system. Immune system just evading. Why it cannot be stained by normal stains? Due to mycolic acid. If you take another microorganism, we can stain easily, but these microorganisms, especially tuberculosis, we cannot stain easily. We can use a specialized stain. Due to presence of mycolic acids and cross-linked fatty acids and other lipids in the cell wall of the organisms, making it impermeable. This is because of this, the stain impermeable too. The stain impermeable. So Mycobacterium tuberculosis acid-fast stain takes up stain by carbon fission. This method we can use. Resistant to decoloration by acids and alcohols. They have resistant decoloration by acids and alcohols. So don't acquire 2-degree stain methylene blue. You can use perfectly. So these retain carbon fissions, hence they appeared. So like that only it will appear. How these tuberculosis affecting and how it is organism growing in our body, nothing but pathogenesis. How it will pathogenesis happen in our body. So exposure of individual to droplets of nuclei from source of a case open tuberculosis patient, duration and intensity of exposure and immunological defense. So duration అంటే ఎక్కువగా ఎక్స్పోజ్ అవ్వడం కానీ తక్కువ ఎక్స్పోజర్ అయితే it is possibility ఉండొచ్చు ఉండకపోవచ్చు. But if it is if the person exposed more and intensity, the more droplets released from the tuberculosis patient and immunological defense, depending upon your immunity system. If you have the less immunity, if small droplet, if it is reached to you, it is easily affected. So depending upon the duration, intensity of exposure and immunological defense of your individual person, it will be infected or not infected. If it is infected, what happened? So weak protective system, immune system avadam vallana, so when it is infected, these are the causes. So weak protective immune system is uncontrolled bacterial growth. You cannot control bacterial growth. Primary progressive tuberculosis. If the strong protective immune, here the weak, but if the strong protective immune response limited initial bacterial growth, the bacterial growth is very low. But some bacterial factors causes bacterial growth arrested. Small bacil persistent latent infection. Some bacilli will be grown and latent until slowga వస్తుంది. That's why latent infection, immune response compromised. Here your immune system is compromised. Immune system response persistent warning of dormant of bacilli, clearance of latent infection. Your immune system not compromised and against act continuously. So clearance of organisms, so there is no infection. But here your immune system is compromised. That's why reactivation of latent infection. Then growth is rapid growth. Slowly, but the Mycobacterium tuberculosis slowly growth ga untundi. Aa slow growth kuda we cannot stop. So that is the development of Mycobacterium tuberculosis in this person. So if the host factors, these are the depending, if the bacterial growth arrested, all bacilli are eliminated, so there is no infection. But here bacterial growth arrested, but some bacilli persistent, అంటే కొన్ని microorganisms బతికి ఉన్నాయి, అవి చనిపోలేదు. Our immunity system వాటిని చంపలేకపోయింది. So that immune response compromise అయినట్లయితే, ఇంక చేత కాదు, your immunity కాదు కానీ అయితే, you can get infection. That is a latent infection. If your immunity system continues slowగానే పనిచేస్తుంది, but it is acting, but స్లోగా పనిచేయడం వల్ల, but స్లోగా ఇన్ఫెక్షన్ ని తగ్గిస్తుంది. క్లియరెన్స్ ఆఫ్ లేటెంట్ ఇన్ఫెక్షన్. సో లేట్ గా రావడం వల్ల ఇది లేటెంట్ ఇన్ఫెక్షన్. ఓకే, so that is the path of how in our body affected. So it's reached the lungs. So here no infection because the immunity system very well. Here the immunity system less and sensitive. So bacteria multiply in macrophages and granuloma lesions formed, and these bacteria says to grow, lesions calcify, and it is immunosuppression and produces the lesions. And his liquefy, bacteria coughed up in sputum, spread to blood and organs and spread to other organs. So this like this way, this is the pathophysiology of the tuberculosis. Already we've seen the types of tuberculosis in that primary tuberculosis and secondary tuberculosis. So primary tuberculosis is the infection of an individual who has not been previously infected. So the person is first time immunized is called as primary tuberculosis or Gons complex or childhood tuberculosis. So every person, especially in child, every person to affected these tuberculosis. Okay. Lesions forming after infection is peripherally and accompanied by hilar, which may not be detectable on chest radiography. Okay, it is not be detectable. It is a primary tuberculosis. So the secondary, the infection that individual who has been previously infected, already infected, again it came, or sensitized, called secondary or post primary or reinfection or chronic tuberculosis. The secondary tuberculosis may be chronic. Primary tuberculosis is not that much chronic. It will maybe your immunity system is well. It will clear that microorganisms. If it is not in primary tuberculosis, it will affect chronic. Next, extra pulmonary tuberculosis. I said already, other than the lung, where it is distributed in organs or system, depending upon the respective system or organ, we can give the name lymph node tuberculosis. Seen frequently in HIV infected patients, pleural tuberculosis. Involuntary pleural is common primary tuberculosis and results from the penetration of tubercle bacilli intrapleural space. Not in lungs, the pleural cavity it is present. There it is present. Upper respiratory glandus, pharynx, epiglottis, genitourinary. It is urinary tract and genital organs and skeletal. It is skeletal system and gastrointestinal and GIT tract. So these are the meningitis. So results from the hematogenous spread of primary and secondary tuberculosis to the meninges of the brain, and pericarditis to distributed to the so especially pericardium means the layers occupied by on the heart. Okay, so whatever it is, you can depending upon the organ or system, we can give the respective tuberculosis. Next, so diagnosis. So the mainly bacteriological test is John Nielsen stain or Astermin stain fluorescence microscopy used by using fluorescence microscopy. So sputum culture test, Lowenstein and Jensen, and solid medium of 4 to 18 weeks, and liquid medium 8 to 14 days, agar medium is 7 to 14 days. This is the test, culture test. You know what is culture test? This is a radiography, chest X-ray we can observe. So depending upon the chest X-ray, if the cloudy, if it is more it is there, we can suspect the tuberculosis. Species identification several hours, nucleic acid amplification, depending on which organism affected, either Mycobacterium tuberculosis, Corti, other Mycobacterium tuberculosis is affected, or we can check properly. A tuberculous skin test is the injection of fluid into the skin of the lower arm. 48 to 72 hours later, checked for a reaction. Diagnosis is based on the size of the wheel. So one dose 0.1 ml contains 0.04 micrograms typically. So when it is depending upon this size, we can so approximately 1.2 mm approximately it will come. So if it is inflamed with the granuloma, if it is tuberculosis, if it is inflamed, and granuloma, if it is formed, we can suspect it is a tuberculosis patient. So these are the images regarding tuberculosis. Test interpretation, how we can interpret it. Less than 6 mm interpretation is negative. Previously unvaccinated individuals may be given BCG provided there are no contraindications. And 6 mm are greater but less than 15 mm hypersensitive to tuberculin protein. The patient is hypersensitive to tuberculin protein, maybe due to previous TB infection, BCG are exposed to atypical mycobacterium, so should not be given BCG. So greater than or equal to 15 mm, strongly hypersensitive to tuberculin protein, suggestive of TB infection or disease. So this patient affect the TB infection. So should not be given BCG. Refer for further investigation and supervision, which may include chemotherapy. So this is the tuberculin test interpretation. So anti-tubercular drugs. So that is the recording of tuberculosis what you studied. Now anti-tubercular drugs. So in the anti-tubercular drugs, we can see the first line drugs and second line drugs. So you come to the first line agents, isoniazide, we can simply call as INH, we can also call as INH, we can, these drug we can come, we have to remember as abbreviation H, and rifampicin as a R, pyrazinamide as a Z, pyrazinamide as a Z, ethambutol as a E, and streptomycin as a S. So these are the given the abbreviations. Next, second line agents, if you take an aminoglycosides, kanamycin, amikacin, these are the antibiotics, macrolides, azithromycin, clarithromycin, you know, these are drugs already we studied. And fluoroquinolones, levofloxacin and moxifloxacin, and a para amino salicylic acid. So this is salicylic acid. It is mainly inflammatory, we can use it. And some other drugs is bedaquiline, cycloserine, and ethanamides, and cariomycin, and thiacetamide. So these are also other second line drugs. Based on the anti-TB activity, so based on the tuberculocidal and tuberculostatic. Tuberculocidal means to kill the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Tuberculostatic means to control the growth of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. So these are all drugs to kill the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. These are all to inhibit the growth of the Mycobacterium tuberculosis. I said that static means to inhibit the growth, cidal means to kill the organism. So that's the classification. Then come to the first line drugs, kill active. That is the second line is hinder bacterial growth. So first line agents, so first if you take an isoniazide, most effective and cheapest primary antitubercular drugs. Most effective and cheapest antitubercular drug. Effective in both and acidic and alkaline medium. So tuberculocidal for rapidly multiplying bacilli, tuberculostatic for resting bacilli. So what is the mechanism of action of these isoniazide? That is H, INH antam. Simply we can call it as INH also. So isonicotinic acid hydrazide. Simply isoniazide, INH, isonicotinic acid hydrazide. So it is a prodrug and is converted in the active form inside a mycobacterium cell. So this is isoniazide drug or INH in the presence of mycobacterial in the enzyme. These enzyme present in a bacterium, mycobacterium. So when it is converted in active form, it may complex with the NAD plus. Form complex with the NAD plus. Thus inhibition of DNA synthesis. Because of these NAD plus very essential for the activation of dihydrofolate reductase. So when the dihydrofolate reductase, when it is formed, the dihydrofolate reductase, when it is formed to convert the dihydrofolate to tetrahydrofolate, already we studied in antibiotics, especially streptomycin and cotramaxone. There we studied. So these NAD plus act as a coenzyme for the dihydrofolate reductase enzyme. So there is no there is no formation of these, thus inhibition of DNA synthesis because of tetrahydrofolic acid, very essential for the synthesis of DNA, so that it inhibited. So active form so because of these make complex with the NAD plus. If there is no NAD plus, there is no activation of dihydrofolate reductase. That's the thing. Then come to the, and also it makes complex with the NADP. Because of this, it is very essential. NADP is very essential for the acyl carrier protein reductase, acyl carrier protein reduction, and beta ketoacyl ACP synthesis. These two essential for the mycolic acid synthesis. Because of these complex inhibition of mycolic acid synthesis. But these two enzymes essential for the mycolic acid synthesis. But NADP make complex with the active form, so the inhibition of mycolic acid synthesis. And resistance to these. If in case the Mycobacterium tuberculosis take the mutation, that mutation is CATZ gene and INHA gene and CAS-A gene. If it is mutated, they given names, mutation name. If that gene, if it is mutated, the organism resistance to isoniazide. So isoniazide can intracellular organism can penetrate into caseous in necrotyl matrix, highly active in the rapidly dividing bacteria. So this is resistance due to mutations. And pharmacokinetic and adversary. Take orally, absorption good, but limited when taken with a high fatty diet. Distribution very well distributed and cross the blood-brain also and placental barrier also. Metabolism, isoniazide to form in the presence of NS transfer to form the acetyl isoniazide. These the formed acetyl isoniazide in urine it is excretion, no problem, but in liver can accumulate forms the free radicals. Free radicals are highly reactive components and react with the liver cells and make liver toxicity, that is hepatotoxicity. If the TOF is 90 minutes, slow accelerators if it is there, so no acetyl transferase. Fast accelerators is there 3 to 4 hours. Hence dose adjustment is done. It's depending upon these transferase enzyme. So finally, this is the thing. Drug interactions. So it is the enzyme inhibitor and inhibit cytochrome P450 enzyme. So drug interaction, how it is caused, the rifampicin, how it caused the drug interaction. So drug interactions, the drug causes the interaction of the other drugs. That's we can call it as a drug interaction. So these isoniazide or INH to inhibit the cytochrome P450 enzyme. Already I said in a previous video also, cytochrome P450 enzyme is very essential for the metabolism of drugs and other food ingredients, nothing but carbohydrates, proteins, whatever it is. See, if that enzyme inhibited, the phenytoin and carbamazepine not metabolized, so they increase their concentration and effect. So these produces the side effects. So phenytoin affects the side effects and carbamazepine produces the side effects. Next, and also one more important is can enhance the excretion of pyridoxine due to metabolism. With this when enzyme inhibited increases the pyridoxine metabolism. And peripheral neuritis and numbness. Numbness means especially in the gums we can get sensitive. Loss of sensation and like numbness, it's like a జుమ్ లైక్ మీకు ఎలా ఉంటుందంటే ఎప్పుడైనా కానీ మీకు అక్కడ సెన్స్ లేకుండా ఉండడం, ఏదో చల్లిగా కానీ ఏదైనా తగిలినా కూడా మీకు ఏదో డిఫరెంట్ పెయిన్గా ఉంటుంది. దట్ ఈస్ నమ్నెస్. న్యూరైటిస్ మీన్స్ ఇన్ఫ్లమేషన్ ఆఫ్ న్యూరాన్స్. సో హెన్స్ బికాస్ ఆఫ్ లాస్ ఆఫ్ వైటమిన్ B6 వెరీ ఎసెన్షియల్. సో డ్యూ టు ఇట్ ఎన్హాన్స్ ఈ యొక్క రిఫాంపసిన్ ఏం చేస్తుంది, సారీ ఐసోనియాజైడ్, ఈ యొక్క ఐసోనియాజైడ్ అవన్నీ చేంజ్ చేస్తుందంటే ఈ వైటమిన్ B6ని ఎక్స్క్రీషన్ ఎక్కువగా చేయటం వలన, ఎక్స్క్రీషన్ ఎక్కువగా విత్ ఇన్ ఫ్రాక్షన్స్ ఎక్స్క్రీషన్ ఎక్కువ చేయటం వలన మీకు న్యూరాన్స్ దెబ్బతింటాయి అండ్ నమ్నెస్ అనేది వస్తుంది. అండ్ హెన్స్ pyridoxine supplement must be given. So as it hepatotoxicity liver function test should be performed regularly to monitor the transaminase levels. So the dose is 5 mg per kg once in a day. That is isoniazide. So next class we can discuss other drugs. Thank you.